Part 6 in our Google Forms series has us looking again at responses, but this time we're going to look at responses on a Google spreadsheet. To get there, obviously click on the Response tab. And one of the first things we're going to do is click on this three-dot icon here. And we're going to make sure that our information that's being typed in or submitted by our respondents goes where we want it to go. So we're going to select a destination. I typically always select the default. If I wanted to change it, the name of it, I could just change the name here. Typically use the default. So I'm just going to hit cancel on that. The other thing that you can do in this area here is you can download the responses in a CSV file, which is a comma separated value, and that's good if you want to import it into Excel. You can also unlink all your data from a particular form, and you could also delete responses. Deleting responses and unlinking form might come in handy if you're using this particular form for different classes from either semester to a different semester or even different classes. So we're not going to go in that, look at that right now. So to look at the responses on the Google spreadsheet, you're going to click on this icon here. And this should look familiar to you. This is the, let's see if I get wider here. This is looks very similar to an Excel spreadsheet. Works almost the same, not quite as robust as Excel, but it's not too bad. So these are all the responses that I actually submitted myself. And I like my spreadsheets to be a little organized. We're going to take just a minute to look at that. But first of all, you'll see the timestamp here of when the respondents submitted their answers to the survey. I'm the only user that was doing it, so you'll just see my username here. First name, last name, and these are just the answers to the questions I had on the survey. And again, I like mine to be neat, so I might just take this area here, select it all, and I might make everything centered. And I just do things like that. This I might want to center as well, just helps me look at my data a little better. I also like to have my my captions, my headers, my titles, whatever you'd like to call them, I like to have them all kind of nice and neat and lined up, which I've already done these columns, but I haven't done column J. You see how it kind of goes way out here to the columns to the right. To fix that, and again, this is just my personal preference. I click on this icon right here, I select Wrap, and it just makes things nice and neat. One of the nice things about having your responses go to a spreadsheet is that you can really look at each individual respondent and how they answered. This comes in really handy when you're working on assessments. And so I want to sort all this by student first name. So I'm going to click here in this little box in the corner here. Then I'm going to go to Data, and I'm going to select Sort Range. Google Sheets is asking me if we have a header, and that's row 1, so I'm going to say, by checking, I say yes. How do I want to sort it? I think I want to sort it by first name. I'm going to add another one. And Google Sheets automatically assumes you want to sort by last name. In this case, I do. If I didn't want to, I could change it to something else. But last name is fine, and that's all I want to do. So I'm going to select Sort, and you'll see that, in fact, my data is sorted by first name and then last name. So the other thing that you can do with this simple spreadsheet is called conditional formatting. And so let's just say I want to know which students answered 3 as far as how they would rate today's weather. And I just want to do it at a glance. And again, I don't have much information on this spreadsheet, so it's kind of easy to see. But if I had a lot of information, this might come in handy. So it's called conditional formatting. And so we're applying it to range G through G, which is column G. And what am I looking for? Well, I'm looking to see if the text contains a certain value, and that value I want to be 3. And what do I want to do with it? Well, I want it to be a certain color, and then I just choose pink. So I'm done. And so this allows you to look at your data very quickly and see which students, in this case here, selected number 3 for the answer to that question. I can close this box here. And that's pretty much it as far as this goes. Again, this is very much like an Excel spreadsheet, not as robust, but there's a lot you can do with it. In another one of our PD offerings down the road, we'll be looking at how to do automatic grading using a couple of Google app extensions on Google Sheets. That's down the road, and for now, this is it on looking at responses on Google Sheets.